otherwise known as I'm going to be a performer, but have health insurance. And I ended up in marketing. I still perform, I still teach music, I music direct a lot around the city. But marketing is my love, it's my passion, and it has really paid off for me. I've been with the Muny for 17 years. I started as an intern. I was moving to Chicago to be a performer, and a friend of mine called and said, hey, our intern just quit, can you fill in for the summer? I'm like, well, I can do that. So I went to extra cash before I moved to Chicago, so I went in, interned. Moved to Chicago for a year, they called me and said, hey, a full-time job open, do you want it? And that's right after we got 23 inches of snow. And I said, I'll be right there. And so I never looked back, and I've been here ever since. I love working for non-for-profits. I've worked in corporate every now and then, and non-for-profits are my passion. I love helping the underdog, and you can actually make a decent living working in non-for-profits. And you get to meet some of the best people who go on to be amazing leaders, who are leaders in the community. I have worked with Wells Fargo advisors, with their people doing different projects. So you never know who you're going to run into one day. This morning, President of Webster University showed up at my door because they're doing graduation at the Muny. So I was like, hey, good to see you. So you never know who you're going to run into in the non-for-profit world. How many have been to the Muny? This is good. Half of you. Okay, for those who have not, the Muny is America's largest and oldest outdoor musical theater. We do Broadway shows in 8 weeks. We do 7 shows in 8 weeks. We are open for 3 months to the public, and then we're closed the rest of the time, getting ready, cleaning and getting ready for the next season. So we go from a staff of 13 to a staff of 650 in one day. And this is our 96th year. It's our 96th season. We have survived every war almost, and we have always turned a profit, even though we are non-for-profit. What that means is we are able to pay our bills and then store money away to fix the roof when the storm comes in and blows it off. So that works well for us at the Muny. Marketing for the Muny and advertising is what I do. You've probably heard the jingle, the meet me at the Muny, the obnoxious thing all the time. That's it. We've had that since the 70s, and we refuse to change it because I can walk into Schnucks with my Muny shirt on, and the cashier will sing that. As much as I don't want to hear it, she will sing it to me. So it means it works. We're doing our job. So the people in the community know who we are by that jingle and by that ugly logo that we can't change either because it's so dated. But it works. It's who we are. Like I said, we do Broadway musicals. We bring in big Broadway stars. We rehearse them in 10 days, put them up, run them for 7, sometimes 10, depending if it's a very popular show. This year, Grease is running for 9 days. And then we send it away. We produce everything ourselves, which means we audition them, we cast them, we build all the sets, we paint all the sets, we build the costumes, we house the actors. It's what we do. We make more money that way if we have all the control and do it ourselves. But this year we are bringing in a tour. For the first time in probably, well, since I've been there, over 17 years, we're bringing the national tour of Porgy and Bess. The only reason is it's out there, it's the Broadway production, and we can't do it in 10 days. There's no way we can put that show up in 10 days. So we're just going to let the tour come through for 7 and then send it on its way. And it's an amazing show. Marketing with the Muny is very challenging because we have to deal with weather. St. Louisans, as much as we love to live here, we hate the heat. We have to deal with rain because we're completely exposed. We have to deal with shows that people don't know what they are. You know, a lot of St. Louis does not get to New York to see Broadway shows. So, for example, we're doing The Addams Family. What's The Addams Family, the musical? I've seen the cartoon, but what is that? So, our job, my department, me and my intern, is to communicate this to what we call the world. We're talking to the world today. And how do we communicate? Well, we advertise. But where do you advertise? Radio? How many of you actually listen to the radio? How many flip through the commercials?
Yeah.
How many watch TV? Like network TV? How many read the newspaper? How many are on Facebook? How many Google? So where do you think we're advertising most? Facebook, Google, yeah, newspaper. Well, actually we do the Post-Dispatch because a lot of our audience is 50 and above. And they still get their paper every day. So we have a little banner ad at the bottom that costs $10,000 to put down there. So, and they know it, that we want that spot, so they charge a lot. So the face of marketing for us is very different. We do, most of our budget now goes online. But how do we know how to do that? It's because we communicate with our audience. We survey our audience every summer to ask them what shows they want to do. We have over 17,000 Facebook fans on our Facebook page, and we communicate, we talk, we dialogue. And that's what makes the Muny one of the leading theaters in the country. We are really one of the few outdoor theaters that still exist. Most of them have shut down because they just can't make it. Kansas City Starlight, if anybody from Kansas City or ever been out that area? Kansas City Starlight is the Muny, half size. But they covered their stage, because that way they could do more concerts and things during the rest of the season to make more money. We can't cover ours because we're in the middle of Forest Park. They won't allow us, so we have to deal with rain, squirrels, and raccoons and all that. So we communicate with our audience through Facebook, and we say, what do you want to see? What do you like about the Muny? And we ask the questions. But we also communicate with the media and ask them, what do you want to talk about? That is my job. My main job is dealing with network news, dealing with the writers, the reporters, the radio personalities. This morning, and I didn't know I was going to talk about this, I get a phone call right before I left from KMOV, Channel 4. The reporter, Larry, hey, we heard that the Missouri Department of Revenue sent you guys a letter. Okay. Yeah, you now have to pay taxes, because we're not for profit, we don't pay sales tax. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know anything about that, but I can find out. Click, uh-oh. Running in, what's going on? Yeah, they sent us a letter, but then the next day they sent us another letter and said, you don't have to pay taxes, it's our mistake. Yeah, we don't have to pay taxes. Well, how did it make you feel when they told you you had to? Confused? So he's like, well, what else is going on? Sales pitch time. Time to communicate. Hey, season tickets are on sale now, you know, the great weather now, it's time to start thinking about summer, blah, 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 blah. So when the story runs tonight, I guarantee you the pitch will be on, and the other little story will be buried. You know, no effect, federal government's mistake. Yes, we'll take that. And so, but he knew that I wasn't going to BS him, that I was going to be honest with him, because that's my rapport with the news. I don't lie. There are a lot of agencies that will twist it all up. What I've discovered is whether you're dealing with the media, dealing with a customer, dealing with an employee, flat out truth and honesty, a lot of times painful, a lot of times digs a hole that you got to climb out of. In the end, results. And honest communication is the best communication in the business industry. At this point, I can pick up the phone and call Channel 5 and say, hey, I need a story. My sales are down. What can you do for me? And they'll say, come on in. We'll put you on Saturday. I show up Saturday morning at 7:30, but I show up Saturday morning in my tie, and we talk about season tickets being on sale, because we have helped each other. In my 17 years, I have built up this rapport with them, this communication. If at all possible, communicate in person. Because have you ever gotten that email where you thought somebody was really mad at you? And then you realized, oh, I was reading the total opposite. You reread it, it's like, oh, this is actually really funny. It's a big joke. Same thing happens in the business world. People have lost jobs over miscommunications in emails. So if there's something you want to talk about, do the phone first. Or send an email saying, hey, we need to meet. Can we meet in the hall by the coffee pot? Can we talk on the phone? I need 2 minutes. If it's going to be something that you really is important and you need to talk about. And then follow up with the email saying, this is what we talked about, so you have it documented in writing, because people forget. I know I do. Right now I have 6 projects, main projects going on in my life. I look at my calendar, I'm like, okay, I have 1 hour for this, 1 hour for that, and we go in. That's why I'm glad I'm here today. I don't have to deal with my calendar. It's much easier. So we communicate with our audience, we communicate with the media. Don't forget to communicate with yourself. And what does that mean? We spend a lot of our time at work doing things for others, running. In school, think about it. You're doing your homework, you're doing this, you're doing this project, you're going to practice, you're going to rehearsal, whatever it is you do. When's the last time you checked in on you? Said, hey, how am I today? I'm really tired. Okay, how is that affecting my decisions I'm making? Okay, I'm aware of that, now I can make decisions. Because if you're tired and you're not feeling well, or if you're super happy, think about the decisions you're making, because there are going to be a lot of strange decisions going on. Because if you're in a super happy mood, you're going to accept everything, because everything's fun. Take a breath. Oh no, I don't want to go to the Philippines today. So, always be aware of how you're feeling, especially in business. If you're in a great mood, how's everybody else around you? Are you going to make them really mad if you're bouncing off the walls and everyone else is like failing a project at the moment? Be aware of your world around you. My philosophies in life are always be aware and breathe. Be aware of what's going on, and no matter what happens, just take a breath, because it's not going to kill you. You can go through it after that. And I guarantee you, take a deep breath. Okay, focus. I can focus. I can go. Happens to me all the time. This past week, I was on Channel 2, Monday morning. Then I was on Channel 2, Saturday morning. Friday night, I was sick as a dog. Saturday morning, I got up at 5 a.m. to try to wake up and get a voice and be at Channel 2 to be live. I hate live TV, I'll tell you about that in a minute. To be live at 7 in the morning. It took a lot to get me there. I took a breath, focused, did it. But I had to know that I was feeling bad. So I had my cheat sheet, I knew how to direct the interview, where I was going to go, because I thought about it. I took a breath. I was aware of how I was feeling, what the drive out to Westport Plaza was going to do to me, because I lived in the city, so driving all the way out to Westport. Who the anchor's going to be, who's going to interview, what room are they going to put me in. I had to play all these scenarios in my head so that I could feel, okay, the bathroom's here, if I'm going to throw up, I know I can head straight to there right after the interview. Seriously, it's live TV, you never know. Live versus taped, if you ever have to do an interview, request taped. Because you could always say, I didn't mean to say that. Can we try that again? And then they can't use that take, because they can't put that on TV. Or you can go, oh, that, and cover your face, and start over. But if it's live, it's on history, it's history. And now thanks to this wonderful thing called the internet, it's international history. So that's how my mother finds out I've been on TV. Mom called me, so your aunt called and said she saw you on TV, why didn't you tell me? So, sorry Mom, I'm on a lot, can't do that. Also, personal outreach and networking. Yesterday, I had the very unpleasant job of being down at Keener Plaza for the Cardinals rally. Normally it's a very pleasant job, but yesterday it was 38 degrees, pouring down rain, and we're standing under a tent with all of our collateral just getting soaking wet. And we're just standing there going, come to the Muny. I hate being here. Somebody give me coffee. It was really bad. But a woman walked up to me and said, I was talking to my coworker. She just walks up, she goes, you were on Great Day St. Louis last week. I said, yeah, I was. She goes, I recognized your voice. I'm like, that's weird, but okay, that's cool. She goes, we love the Muny. We love seeing you out there. We love what you do in the community because we do education things. We do all kinds of sorts of things. And it's that outreach that booked her. I was able to talk to her about season tickets and had her register for 2 free tickets, which then will get her to into the theater and then to buy more tickets. So it's the fact that we're in the community and we outreach that it works. How many of you volunteer? Yay. That is the biggest thing that you can do for yourselves, is to volunteer for organizations, because you never know who you're going to meet, you never know who you're going to learn. My job, because I came in to volunteer as an intern, they paid me, what was that, $60 a week. It was enough for gas money to get me to Chicago when I was done. But who I met, and the job I have now, I've been there 17 years in this same job. I started as, hi, I'm the data entry guy, and now I'm the publicity manager. I deal with all the media. I deal with international media, and I love it. It is so much fun. And it's because of that job that I got my teaching job at Webster University. One of our actors is head of the musical theater department. He walks up to me one day and goes, will you team teach with me? I'm like, sure, I love to teach. And now that is the most rewarding thing that I do. I love teaching college kids. You guys rock. Keeps me young. I learned from you. And we learn from each other. and we will solve all the world's problems. There should be no way I'm breathing. I've decided on this. But it's just because I volunteered. I networked. I can't tell you, well, I'm here today because Mr. Lacey knows me. I have no idea how he knows me, but I'm sure if I saw his face, I'm going to go, oh, you! And that's why you get to know me. One day you're going to see me on the street and I'm going to offer you a job. Because, oh yeah, you were in that class. I remember that. You asked the best question, which, by the way, get ready. Because I don't like to talk. I talk a lot. I'm actually a huge introvert, unless I'm like on the stage and doing my thing. You know, I'm the guy who's at the party sitting in the corner. Going, wow, cool fashions. Yeah, that hair's ugly. Yeah, you know, but I'm not going to go up and talk to anybody unless I'm on, unless I'm doing my job. And so, how many introverts in the room? Yeah, Put the TV camera in front of you, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Because you have to do it. It's like, I always tell my actors, stand on the edge of the cliff. My job is to push you off and make you jump. But always know I'm at the bottom catching you. And it's the same thing when you're in business, when you're working. Just jump. What's going to happen? You may make a fool of yourself. Done. There, that's part of life experience. You've now learned from that. And so much better. And if you want to be a leader in the community, you have to jump. You have to jump. And you're going to find out, oh, it was an illusion. Same height. I didn't get hurt. It's cool. Or you're going to go, oh, that was stupid. I shouldn't have done that. I won't do that again. How many mistakes? How many have ever made a mistake in their life? Right? How many regret that? How many have let it go? That should be everybody. That should be everybody. Because you can't control the past. It's over. You can only control where you're going. Use the past to build. Use the past to grow. So I'm told that you're all really dynamic group of students with this desire to be strong leaders. It's a great email I got. I loved it. So why leadership? Why do you want to lead? Do you ever ask yourself that question? Why do you want to be a leader? That's interesting, isn't it? Why do I teach? I didn't plan on being a teacher. I taught grade school for a while, grade school music. Oh, never again. I love the kids. Parents, forget it. If you ever have kids and send them to music class, respect that teacher. Because you have no idea how much noise those kids make with sticks. Why be a leader? I never set out to be a leader. It just kind of happened. And am I happy it happened? On Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, probably. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays, like, leave me alone. I have so much work to do. But leadership is hard. Leadership's fun. Leadership carries a big responsibility because there are a bunch of people behind you following. And you get to tell them, help them go somewhere and do something. And it's really cool when that project succeeds, when it happens. But you know, what is it saying? Leaders are not born. Or no, leaders are not made, they are born. You can't make someone a leader. You can just take the leader out of them and show them who they are. You know, we are all born to be leaders in some way. It could be leading your dog. You know, a pack of dogs and say, serious? Have you ever seen a dog follow somebody when they're walking? It's a good leader. The dog can sense it. But the dog who's out there, the dog's a leader. That's all there is to it. That was my old dog. I was like, yeah, go ahead. You just go. So, being a leader is hard. Being a leader is rewarding. Being a leader is fun. But it's hard. And I'm just going to say that 100 times. But you have to embrace the challenge. What part of life today is not a challenge? You ever tried to put gas in the car when you're looking at $3.54 a gallon? That's hard. Did you ever try cooking a steak? I always burn it. It's hard, you know? Did you ever try answering the phone when you see caller ID and it's the person you don't want to talk to? Hello, Channel 4. Because this is the reality of network TV. Channel 2, great people, fun. They do great news, great entertainment. Channel 5, fabulous. They do great news, great entertainment. Channel 4, only if you're dead are they coming out to see you. Channel 4 only does hard news. So, what call did I get today? I hear you have to pay taxes. No, but it's a beautiful day in St. Louis. Yeah, I've got to go. You know, so only if someone falls off and gets injured or it's 120 degrees will Channel 4 come out to me. So that's just what it is. So that's my challenge with them. It's like, how do I find a story that they'll want to cover and then spin it really fast? So that, you know, so I bring them out to every heat story. They call, it's 110 out there. You know, people are going to drop like, come on out. And then you bring out, you know, the chorus boy and the chorus girl, you know, wearing their little clothes. They're kind of, oh, it's great out here. Look at this. My muscles are real flexible. Look at all this water we get to drink. Look at this Gatorade. And the reporter's like, they want that story. But they have to put it on because it's live. So there's ways to spin everything. There's ways to lead the story. So as leaders, what do you want to do? Do you think about that? How do you want to lead? Politics? Sports? Want to be a coach? Want to manage a team? It's great, fun stuff. I manage orchestras. I manage actors. It's a lot of fun. Have you thought about your path you want to take? Because there are steps to get there. Oh, you're here. That's a huge step. That's a big step. Do you ever sit down and write out what you want to do? I hope so. Draw yourself a map. And what's fun is when you have to erase the next section because you turn right instead of left. Then you're like, yay, I get to do it again. I get to draw this map. I like drawing maps, it's cool. I'm a sketcher. But then you're like, oh no, I turned left. Right just went away. I failed my class. What do? I can retake it, or this class is actually more fun. This one actually interests me. I love art history. I'm going to run a museum. Boom, there you go. Welcome to life. So, you never know. So, that's my rambling. That's my talking. I'll keep going, but I want to know what's in your brains. I want to know who you are. I want to know what's going on, because it's communication. You're learning to communicate. What's up?
With the new leadership at the Muny,
Yeah.
How did that affect you?
Huge. Huge. That's a good question. We used to have a producer who came in June, left in August. Show closed, he was gone. He lived in New York, did his thing. We now have a full-time producer who lives in St. Louis. He still produces in New York. His new Broadway show just opened, If Then, Idina Menzel. That's his show, and he'll probably get a Tony nomination for it. But he's there every day in our face, going, why aren't you doing this? Hey, that was great. You need to do this. Why isn't this happening? And we're all like, what is this? We're used to just doing our thing. We had it all mapped out, you know, for 15 years. This is what I did. And now I have someone who sits on my desk and goes, I'm waiting. Hi, that's my coffee. I haven't had it yet. And so it's changed a lot, and a lot for the good. Nothing for the bad. What's the bad is us being stuck in our ways. You know, after 15 years of doing things one way, you have to relearn. It's so, normally when I turn right, now I just turn left. And I'm like, okay, new territory. Oh boy, I have to write more. I'm not a writer, so I'm writing more. I'm learning to write. I took a creative writing class, so I'm learning how to write more. I'm a musician. I play piano. Come on. I'll sing a song to you. But it's really good. The show qualities have really, they've upped. To quote Mike, he was talking actually on the phone the other day, talking about Broadway, which he applies to us. People are taking risks again in New York. It's not just Carousel, Oklahoma, all the classics. There are a lot of new shows and new ideas in New York, and he is bringing them to us as well. For example, we have a video wall now. The old producer would have never hung a video wall because he doesn't understand what it does. He has never used one. Mike uses video walls. He's not afraid to bring 3 camels out during Aladdin, you know? He'll clean up the stage if they have an accident, which they did every night. But, you know, he'll make it happen as part of the show. So that's the excitement. He brings this new excitement. He brings his contacts to New York. I mean, he's best friends with Idina Menzel, Kristen Chenoweth. He got them all Tonys. He's made these people famous. And so someday they will be on our stage as soon as they stop working in New York. So, yeah, so it's really cool.
With Mary Poppins,
yeah.
How did that go along with like risk management?
Risk management. Mary Poppins flew over the audience, for those who didn't see the show. And originally, I love drawing. So if this is the stage, here's the audience, and there's the spotlight booth. Originally, she was going to go from stage all the way over the audience and back over and land. Well, what we figured out is that would have taken 15 minutes. And there's not, you know, it wouldn't work out like that. So instead, she just kind of went over, off to the side and down, which took 4 minutes, which we were able to cover. Took a lot of convincing to let that happen because of risk management. What if she falls? Not only do we injure her, we injure the audience. Will our building hold up to it? I mean, the building, the structure that is built was built in the 40s and 50s. Now we're putting a tension cable to fly her all the way over there, and that's a lot of tension on these buildings. We had to have engineers out. We had to do tests. And then someone had to do it first to make sure we didn't kill the actress, because that would not have been good for our reputation. So our executive producer, the new guy, harnessed up and said, if you're gonna kill someone, kill me, let's go. And it worked. And so then we took turns writing. So a lot of risk management on that. But once it happened and once the actress did it, it was great. It worked out really well.
What do you think the most influential decision you've ever made was?
Quitting computer science. Honestly, I was offered a job with Boeing. I could still be there going, programming missiles. And because I'll be honest, I'm good. I was a good programmer back then. And I decided I don't want to kill people. Because my job would have been to kill people, writing the software that controls a missile. And I'm like, no, can't do that. So back to the piano, much easier. That was the biggest decision I ever made. I was honest with myself, because honestly, I was in computer science to make money. I grew up really poor, very poor. And greed, money, dollar signs were big in my vision. I want to be rich, I want to take care of my parents. And what do? I work for non-profits. That ain't gonna happen. But it was the biggest decision I ever made and the best, because now I do what I love. I work in theater, I work in music. I work in business. I have worked with every major bank in this city through what I do here. I have worked with huge, right down to oil company, right down here, Center Oil Company, the head of the guy that just passed away. I worked with him for 10 years, doing his Christmas party every year. I make more money doing Christmas parties than I do in a month at the Muny. And it was just because I have this job. He came and saw me play someone. And so I was like, I'll play a Christmas party. I like it. You're rich. So, yeah.
I know, like, I've been to Muny many times.
Yeah.
So the rain policy, I'm sure that there's like a crisis PR kind of thing going on. Can you explain that?
Oh, it's huge. So when it rains, we say when it rains, it pours. Our policy is, if we get past intermission, we don't refund. If we don't get an hour of the show in, you get your money back. Or you get to exchange your tickets for a new day. Unless it's like the last show of the season, then you get a refund. You get your money back. Do we sit on that stopwatch? Oh yeah. Because the last thing we want to do is refund 11,000 seats. So it's like, and it's off the stage manager's stopwatch, not our watch. So when the stage manager goes, and go, click, the clock starts. And if, I guarantee you, if it is 59 minutes and 59 seconds, we will refund. Because that's what's fair. The Muny is very fair about that. Let's say it starts raining, it stops, we get everybody out, everybody comes back in, we continue the show. But it was really bad, there was a lot of lightning, it was a little dangerous, and a lot of people left. Somebody calls the next day and says, you know, we thought it was raining out. No, we did start the show, sorry, and we got the show in, but I didn't feel safe. No problem, why don't you bring your tickets in and we'll bring you back for another show. No charge. Because that's what the Muny does. The reality is we have 11,000 seats. We always have a little bit of room unless it's a children's show. You know, if it's Annie, there aren't any seats available. But we really take care of our customers, and it's the way we communicate with them. Is the reality is it's your theater. We are shepherds of this institution, and the people of St. Louis are what made it what it is. So why do we want to get them mad at us? We really don't. That's why we just spent, you know, gazillion dollars to put in brand new fans last year that we can run during the show. To reduce the temperature so people can be more comfortable. You know, we're used to sitting out there sweating. I'm out there in a shirt and tie in the middle of summer. But if you can come be comfortable, do it. You know, let us help you with that. That's why we let you bring in water. That's why we let you bring in anything to keep you cool. You bring your own food. We just want you there to watch the show. So, yeah, the rain policy scares us, especially if it's a full house. And literally, all of us know how to read radar, weather radar. The minute the first drop hits, every cell phone backstage just lights up with somebody. I'm on the phone with Channel 5, someone else is on with Channel 4, someone else is, we pick which one we like best. But they're really good to us. I call Channel 5, and it's usually Cindy Pressler, who personally we don't get along. But she's like, hey Larry, I'm like, yeah, I know you know my number. How much time do I have? They will literally go into the radar and say, you've got 10 minutes. Get them out of there now. We say, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, please evacuate. And we get them out, and sure enough, 10 minutes, boom, it all opens up. And it clears. We go, yeah, go, you got about an hour and a half. Run, let's go. And we throw people back in their seats. And we're done. So that's the main policy. Crazy, crazy. People always say, oh, you have insurance for that. No, used to, way back in the day, you could insure that. Nowadays, the insurance policy for a rain policy, couldn't afford that. It's cheaper to refund seats. So, and the good thing is, not many people go for the refund. People are like, it's okay, it's the Muny. And now we have a policy that you can donate your tickets back, so if you don't get your refund, you can write it off your taxes. Just a good thing. We like them. So, what are the questions? Leadership, the world. You all know everything? I should teach it, yeah.
How does it work with like children's shows? Because those run longer
Right.
than 7 days. Like, how do you guys schedule that? Or
The rehearsal process is the same, it's still a 10-day process, but what we do is we'll start, it all usually revolves around the 4th of July, because we try not to be open on the 4th if at all possible, because why do we want to compete with 4th of July celebrations? And so we try to either add, let's say we're adding 2 shows, we'll try to add it at the beginning or at the end of the run. Now this year our schedule is really crazy and I'm still confused on it. 2 shows are opening on Monday, one's opening on a Thursday, one's opening on a Wednesday, and I'm like, just tell me when to be there. That's all I need to know. And that's all just the way the 4th of July holiday is falling this year, and the Veil Prophet Parade and Fair St. Louis is in Forest Park this year because of the arch construction. So that shuts us down because our people can't get in because they're going to take over the entire park. So we had to adjust our schedule around them. Because we'll have no place. We actually have rehearsals during that time, and we're today actually at 2 o'clock have a meeting. How are we going to get in? Yeah, I'm like, I'll parachute. So do we get shuttle buses? Do the ride horses in? So now police. However we're going to get them, we got to figure it out. So it's all calendar-wise, what works best, and how many days depends on how well we think the show will sell. I mean, we've extended Grease because Grease is going to sell. Grease is our highest making show. Everybody requests it, everybody knows it, everybody loves it. So, so we'll be refunding for 10 days, or 9 days a year. Other questions? Leadership, internships. How many are wanting to do internships? Do them. Do them. Internships do never guarantee you a job. Internships usually get you a job. I'll say that now. I was interning when I was living in Chicago. I went up there and I interned for a corporate real estate office up there. And within 3 weeks of my internship, they offered me full time. And that would go back to me. But it's like, yeah, no thanks. Internships are huge. They look great on resumes, and I guarantee you, first time a resume comes across my desk, the first thing I look for is, have they done an internship? Because what that means is, I don't have to teach them how to work in an office. I don't have to teach them how to answer a phone. I mean, answering a phone is a gift. Yeah, no, it does not work. I don't have to teach them. They can come in ready to work. And then I shape them into what my world is. Yeah.
So going off that, when you're going through your resumes, what's the person you look for to work with you for your internships or your full-time employment?
First thing I do is I look at the resume as a resume. Is it well structured? Is it well organized? Go. Go. trust me, do not download something offline. There's a reason they're free. Go. Can I read it? Can I follow it? Does it tell me who this person is? Next step. What did they do in college? What did they do in school? Were they strictly academic? Could be a problem if I need them to interact with people, for me, because I interact with people all the time. My people have to interact with news media. Oh, they volunteered. Loving that because they know how to get dirty. Because if it's raining and we have to go mop a floor, they're not afraid to do it. They have volunteered. Have they done something other than academic? Have they played a sport? Oh, team player. Boom, love that. Oh, it was just for fun. I'll take that. Special skills. Oh, they have a driver's license. That's good. Well, we deal with a lot of actors. New York, Chicago, they don't have cars, so they don't pay for the license. They don't need to. And so they come in for internships. So it's like, no, you have to be able to drive. Sorry. GPA. We look at grades. You don't have to have a 4.0 for me, because I never had a 4.0. I was too busy to study that hard, honestly. And I hate studying, and I have memorization issues. So, but they were able to maintain passing grades. And there are some, and you can see, if you get a copy of their transcript, what their strong points are, where they are. And then the personal interview, just to sit down and say, is this person a human being? Or is this person a robot who is regurgitating every answer they read online that they should answer to this question? Because the reality is, if you're in an office with someone, you want to be able to talk with them. You want to be able to bounce ideas. You want to know that it's okay that they get angry. They're human. Humanity is huge in the world. It's the problem that people don't like to be human, and people don't like to make mistakes, and that causes problems. We have to make mistakes. That's how we learn. And that's one of my questions when I interview someone is, what's the biggest mistake you've made, and how did you handle it? Oh, I just didn't tell anybody. And you're not hired. Because I need to know if you really screwed something up. So it's just being honest. But the resume, first off, needs to be organized, well-structured, and easy to read, so that I don't have to spend 2 hours trying to figure out who you are. I can see it right there. And if you worked at Domino's Pizza for 20 years, just put, I worked at Domino's Pizza. That's fine. I don't need to know every store location. Things like that. Keep it precise and important. And I recommend, and a lot of people disagree with me on this, to tailor your resume and your cover letter to the place you're applying for. If you're coming to me, it's going to be a different resume than if you're going to Wells Fargo. That's going to be a lot more business-oriented. Mine's going to be a little more arts-oriented, or more interpersonal than that. Know your company that you're sending the resume to, and look at what they do. So when you come in, I can say, hey, did you see our Facebook page? I sure did. You see that post you put on it? It was really cool. It's huge. It's big. Other 2 minutes. Other questions?
So you said that you, sorry.
No.
Okay.
We're adults.
You do internships. So
Yes.
what type of intern?
Oh, we do everything.
Internships and, okay, so
We
you
do everything.
variety.
We have, from the art side of it, we have directors, designers, assistants to producers, all of that kind of artistic stuff. On the other side, every now and then we have accounting internships. We have PR internships. We have marketing. Right now we're looking for a graphic artist intern. We're trying to find somebody to come in and do the program for us this summer. And so it really, it varies on the season, but every January we post what internships are available on our website. And they are paid internships for the most part, most of them. But like right now, I have an intern from Webster University, actually one of my students. They said, Kai, come to work for me. Because he needs credit. So I'm not paying him, but he is basically my slave for the next 8 weeks. Alex, type this. Go, research, go. I need headshots, find them. And he's literally Googling his face off, downloading bios and headshots. We're getting them approved by agents so that we're getting ready to release who's in our shows. And he's helping me prep all of those press packages so that we need to send out. And if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here today because I'd be still Googling who this person is. Because I don't know them all. It's not people from New York I've never heard of. So, it's a good question. There are thousands of internships out there every year, here in St. Louis especially. Find them, because people like cheap labor. And you get to always get to go on a fun event. My intern always gets one shot with Channel 5. Because Channel 5's out every week with me, and I'm like, this one's yours, go. Don't screw it up. And I'm literally standing behind him going, just help me run. But, you know, the shyest person is standing there with a Broadway star. Just, you know, chit-chatting, getting them coffee, hanging out with them, making them feel comfortable while the reporter's setting up an interview. So it's a great skill for him or her to learn. I think, you know, doesn't matter for me whether you're a guy or girl, we use everybody. So, any other questions? I have brought with me my business cards. I'm gonna leave them for you if you want one, and you have any questions or anything, please email me and let me know. You have just made your first networking contact in the arts world of marketing. You email me and say, hey, I was in this class, I have this question. Or I'm considering an internship with such and such, have you ever heard of them? I'll be honest with you. And hey, I'm gonna be down at the Muny. Love to say hi, can you show me around? Happy to do it. You know, or if I can't, I'll find somebody who can, depending on what my schedule is that day. I recommend, and people laugh at me, that hi, I'm a student, hi, I'm graduating. Get yourself a business card that says hi, future, blah, blah, blah. You can get them free, Vistaprint, free business cards, because they put their little ad on the back. So when you meet someone, yeah, here's my contact information. Boom, done. You just made a network. You just made it into someone's relatives. And someday they're gonna go, who was, oh yeah, I remember this person. Let's contact him, let's see if, or her, let's see if they're interested. Boom, internship, ta-da. There's your career start. Any other questions? Wrap up. So contact me, please, feel free. And like I said, any questions, let me know. Thank you so much for being, like, actually looking at me. Usually it's the cell phone world, and that's usually my class. So, great, have a good day, enjoy, be smart, be aware, acknowledge your life, make your list. Thank you.
Thank you.